Every year after the NFL draft wraps up, there's always a buzz about who got picked, which teams won the draft, and who reached too far. But beneath that spotlight is another group just as important for roster building: the undrafted free agents. These are the players who didn't hear their name called across 7 rounds, but whose phones lit up the second Mr. Irrelevant was picked. And while they may not arrive with the same hype, they bring something just as valuable: hunger, upside, and often a chip on their shoulder that fuels breakout stories. One team in particular has already signed 9 of these undrafted free agents. They're likely to extend a few more invitations ahead of rookie minicamp this coming weekend, including a quarterback to help run the drills and fill out reps. What makes undrafted free agents so intriguing is the balance between risk and reward. The financial commitment is minimal, often just a modest signing bonus and a chance to prove themselves in camp. There's no guaranteed salary, no cap strain, and really no downside. Even if all 9 players fail to make the final roster, the cost to the team is negligible. Because of this, it's hard to assign any grade below a B to these signings. The worst case scenario is they don't pan out. And the best case? Well, it could mean finding the next unexpected gem. Just like players in past years who made the leap from overlooked to indispensable. Now, how many of these 9 players actually have a shot at making the final 53-man roster? That's always the golden question. It could be 0, especially with fewer spots available this season, but it could just as easily be 2, 3, or even more. History tells us this team knows how to spot undrafted talent. The issue this year is that the overall class is a bit thinner, not because of lack of quality, but simply due to roster constraints. There just aren't that many open spots heading into the offseason. Still, that doesn't mean there isn't upside. Let's talk about the group they've brought in. There's a pair of wide receivers, one from Oregon, one from Texas Tech, plus 2 tight ends and a linebacker with some background as a safety. That hybrid linebacker in particular brings something unique. Having a guy who's played in the secondary and now transitions to the box gives a coordinator options and coverage and special teams. As for the tight ends, they bring different skill sets, but both could be valuable. One of them shows signs of being a developmental fullback as well, which fits what this team tends to look for when rounding out the depth chart. Among the safeties added, it's clear the front office saw a need. The current safety room features 4 names, but with injuries and uncertainty surrounding a couple of those, more bodies were needed just to get through camp. That's part of the reason these signings matter. Some of these guys might not sniff the field in preseason games, but they help maintain the flow in practices, fill gaps, and yes, occasionally do enough to earn a practice squad slot or even crack the roster outright. That's the exciting part. Even if just 1 or 2 pop, the move pays off. And from early impressions, there's at least a few names here with real potential. One of the receivers signed is someone who immediately drew attention. He's got a strong connection with the team's new wide receivers coach, which could help his chances. He's not a burner and has some issues creating separation, but he plays with physicality and has solid hands. He's not expected to make the 53, but has a legitimate path to a practice squad role if he can flash during camp. His frame and experience in a high-volume college offense make him a name to track. Then there's the second wideout. Smaller in stature, listed under 6'1" and about 186 pounds, but highly productive. He logged over 1,000 receiving yards and proved tough after the catch. His ability to break tackles and fight through contact makes him intriguing, even if his speed isn't elite. Every year, there seems to be one undrafted wide receiver who captures attention, and this guy has a shot at being that player in this cycle. Moving over to the tight end group, one of them earned what we'd call an A- grade. Not elite yet, but built the right way. At just under 6'3" and 242 pounds with 34-inch arms, he's got the size and compact build you want at the position. There's a vision for him as a move tight end or even a hybrid. Fullback, especially if he can develop as a blocker. That's a trait that clearly needs refinement, but the raw tools are there. He might not push for the active roster immediately, but he looks like a strong candidate for the practice squad and future development. There's another tight end in the mix, a player who started at Harvard before transferring to Virginia. Physically, he's slightly smaller than the first, measuring in at 6'3" and 239 pounds, and doesn't have quite the same wingspan. He also didn't put up eye-popping numbers, but his athletic profile is slightly above average for the position. In contrast, a player like Fairweather, who isn't part of this group but is a useful comparison, tested better overall but suffered from poor quarterback play that hurt his production. When stacked up, both bring something to the table. But the ceiling might be a bit higher for the first tight end based on length and upside. Among the most interesting additions is Justin Barron, a linebacker now, but he came into college as a wide receiver. He put on size over time and transitioned through safety into a true box linebacker role. He's now just shy of 6'4" and weighs around 225 pounds, with arm length just over 31 inches. What stands out isn't just the positional versatility, but his special teams value. He logged over 900 snaps in that phase of the game. That alone could get him onto the roster. If he can contribute in that third phase while being serviceable in sub-packages, he becomes a real asset, especially as teams thin out their depth charts during final cuts. He'll have competition, though, with names like Buddy Johnson and DeMarvion Overshone in the mix. But with so much uncertainty in that second-tier linebacker group, Barron's blend of experience and versatility is valuable. Another name worth circling is Bruce Harmon, a local guy from Rockwall, Texas. Reports indicate he may have had a tryout with the team and impressed. He ran an eye-catching 40-yard dash in the 4.44 range, and though his arm length is just over 31 inches, below what this team usually prefers, he makes up for it with flexibility. Harmon has experience playing both, inside and outside corner, but his most natural fit might be as a nickel who can also contribute on special teams. The competition there includes names like Keeman Hall, and this could turn into a real battle for one of the final practice squad. Spots at cornerback. Then there's Elijah Clark, one of the more notable undrafted free agents in the group. He was on the radar before the draft and brings experience at multiple positions. Free safety, strong safety, and nickel. That kind of versatility is gold when you're trying to earn a roster spot. He's not elite in terms of athleticism or physical tools, but he's steady. And on a team looking for depth and role players, steady can go a long way. He's not a perfect tackler and has room to grow in that area, but the coaching staff values his ability to line up across multiple alignments and contribute on special teams. He's exactly the kind of guy who makes sense as a late-round grade or priority free agent. And the evaluations don't stop there. Zion Childress is another safety in the mix, graded just a notch below Clark with an A-. Clark might be more of a playmaker, having notched an interception last year and tallying several tackles for loss, while Childress doesn't have that same highlight reel. But both are capable contributors. Clark had a better rate of pass breakups, showing strong ball skills, while Childress showed consistency and reliability, even if the splash plays were fewer. There's also a final name worth noting, another All-American talent who began his college career at one school, transferred to another, and ultimately landed here. Scouts have some concerns about his lower body stiffness, but he brings a bigger frame and physicality. His size, ranging up to 209 pounds, gives him a shot at being more of a box safety, even if he has experience in deep zones. The coaching staff could look to him as a downhill enforcer or even rotate him into split safety looks, depending on how things shake out. These safeties, all three of them, represent different play styles and builds. One's just under 190 pounds, another around 199, and the last over 200. They'll all get reps this preseason, particularly as box defenders, and the fight for those final practice squad and depth spots is going to be fierce. Each one brings something different. And if they show out, they could carve out real roles. We get closer to rookie minicamp and the full swing of off-season activities. The pressure ramps up for these undrafted players. It's not just about talent at this point. It's about fit, timing, and opportunity. Sometimes being in the right place at the right time can be just as important as raw ability. These guys have a small window to make a big impression, and they know it. Every rep in practice, every special teams drill, every snap on film will be scrutinized. Coaches are watching to see who picks up the playbook quickly, who competes with energy, who finishes through the whistle. For many, it's their last real shot at sticking in the league. Bruce Harmon's case is a little different. His athletic numbers are solid, but his arm length and size metrics aren't ideal. That said, if he proves sticky in coverage and adds value on special teams, he'll remain in the conversation. Nickel. Corner depth is a constant battle on NFL rosters. And with the increased use of sub-packages and dime looks, a player like Harmon who can move inside and read offenses quickly will always be of interest. Then there's Elijah Clark, the most intriguing of the three safeties based on positional flexibility. His ability to line up at multiple spots in the secondary is not just a luxury, it's a necessity for bubble players. He might not be the biggest hitter or fastest sprinter, but his football IQ, route recognition, and willingness to contribute in run support help his case. He's also shown flashes of playmaking, and if he can turn that into turnovers or pass breakups in preseason games, the coaching staff will take notice. Zion Childress might not have the splash plays on tape, but sometimes being consistent and in the right place matters more. Defensive coordinators want reliability, and if Childress proves he can be trusted in coverage and avoid mental errors, he'll be in the mix. Special teams play will again be the deciding factor for him, as it is for so many on the fringe. And the final safety prospect, the biggest of the three, will have to overcome concerns about agility and lower body movement. His physical presence, though, gives him a different edge. If the staff believes he can hold his own in the box and bring toughness as a downhill safety, that could open up sub-package roles, particularly in run-heavy matchups or red zone scenarios. Each of these players knows what's on the line. 1. Good practice can swing momentum. One missed assignment can close the door. The preseason will bring even more clarity, but make no mistake, the race has already started. And for a few of these undrafted guys, the path to the 53 is more open than it looks. It only takes one coach to believe. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL landscape, quarterback Josh Allen has signed a 3-year deal with the Dallas Cowboys. The stunning decision was confirmed earlier today and marks one of the most significant quarterback shifts in recent league history. Allen, widely regarded as one of the most dynamic and physically gifted signal callers in the game, will now don the iconic star on his helmet and lead a Cowboys franchise hungry for a Super Bowl return. Allen's departure from Buffalo brings an end to a remarkable chapter with the Bills, where he transformed the team into perennial contenders. Known for his rocket arm, powerful running ability, and fearless approach, Allen brought the Bills to multiple playoff appearances and revitalized a fan base that had been yearning for elite quarterback play for decades. However, despite the success, a Super Bowl title eluded him in Buffalo, a fact that may have influenced his decision to seek a new challenge in Dallas. The Cowboys, who have been seeking consistency and playoff success at the quarterback position, now find themselves with a franchise-caliber player in the prime of his career. With a strong supporting cast that includes standout talents on both sides of the ball, Allen's arrival raises expectations sky high. Questions will inevitably swirl around what this means for former starter Dak Prescott. But the front office clearly believes Allen is the piece that can take them over the top. Financial details of the deal have yet to be disclosed in full, but sources close to the negotiation suggest it's one of the most lucrative short-term contracts in league history. Beyond the money, Allen's move symbolizes a bold statement of intent from the Cowboys. The time to win is now. The NFL world will be watching closely as a new era begins in Dallas, with Allen expected to make his debut under center this fall in what promises to be one of the most anticipated seasons in franchise history. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.